Hi, I'm Katie Sky and welcome to my channel and welcome to the island of Scuttle. This is my pirate jungle with a dash of tropical island, and this is the section we're going to be working on today. It's going to be our shopping district, and let's go ahead and get started. I am of course going to start with pathing. I have the decking that I'm going to continue on from the entrance as well as the water. So a lot of pathing in today's video. And this is the first time since I think Obsidian that I've had any type of structure to my islands. Normally I do very natural islands with dirt paths, and a lot of this island will be that, but this front half is very structured, well, structured for me, so it's been kind of fun to dip my toes back into that. And who knows, maybe one of my next few islands I will do a little town core island again, like Obsidian. Now we're just putting Nook's shopping building down, and we're gonna continue the storefronts. And I'm doing a lot of storefronts in this build because I don't like the color of these buildings. They don't go with the colors for this island. So I'm trying to hide as much of that as I can. And let me tell you what we're actually building today. So obviously I said we're building the shopping district, but this shopping district is going to also be like a boatyard situation. So this is where they anchor some of the smaller boats. Obviously their larger pirate ships have to be anchored out, and then they have the little dinghies. Are they called dinghies? The little boats that they bring out here. And then I did have to move the shop because I ended up putting it too far over, so that was fun to do. I did cut that out because I'm positive you did not want to see me move this building 3 times. Anyway, so their ship is probably further out, so these are just like the smaller ships that, you know, they get around like the little cove of the island. That's what I'm going with anyways. And I've done many a shopping district in my time with New Horizons, but I've never done a shopping district quite like this one, where they're not like next to each other or, you know, on a different cliff, but in the same area. They're kind of like almost around the corner. And so it's different than I normally do, but I think it actually came out really cute, and I'm very happy with how it came out. So right now I'm just really setting up and figuring out the overall shape that I want before I go back and kind of refine the details and make it extra pretty. Let me tell you, I did not have that much of an idea of what I was doing going into this. I had a vague idea. I'm like, I know I want to do a shipyard, a boatyard, and I know it to be the shopping district. And that was all. Literally everything else, I was like, I don't really know what to do. So of course I turned to Pinterest, as one does. And I did find a few things that I liked, but nothing was quite right. But it did give me a direction to go in, which is how I ended up with this like little street shopping district covered in storefronts. So that's how I kind of got here. And now I'm just moving on to the water because there was a lot of water that needed to be laid down. And now I'm putting in the little docks. I was playing around with doing a larger one that's 2 wide and then a smaller one that's only 1 wide. And you'll see which one I went with later on in the video. And now I'm just moving back in to doing the decking. And this is going to be the decking that kind of goes underneath the storefront so that you can't see any of that green, because for some reason it infuriates me when I can see the green of the grass when I'm doing this type of a build. Don't know why, that's just how I am. Like I said, this build has a lot of custom code laying. It's just a lot of pathing, and it was unavoidable. I feel like all I do on this channel is just lay pathing down over and over and over. It feels like that's all that I'm ever doing. But I also believe that pathing is so important to a build because it just can make or break them. It can make them just so much more elevated than if there was no pathing. So I do like pathing for that reason. I just don't like how long it takes, you know? And now we're gonna do exactly what we did in front of Abel's, in front of Nook's. So far, this has been one of my favorite islands to build. It's been a lot of fun, and it's especially fun because I've done all of the codes, like I created them. So that's been kind of fun to do and learn more about code making as well. And now we're gonna start popping down these storefronts and making sure that they're gonna cover as much of the buildings as possible because they do not look very piratey. And we're basically gonna just do that all the way down this pathing and down to Abel's as well. And let me tell you, this video and my next video, these villagers have been all up in my business. They are just like singing. They are being very cute, but look at that. Bella, she has fleas, which is unfortunate because my dog's name is Bella, and she's the reason that I got this mouse on this island, because I'm like, oh, it's her namesake, and then she has fleas, and I'm like, I really hope that's not saying that my dog's gonna end up with fleas. But yeah, I didn't do anything about that. I kind of just let her sit with her flea, which I do feel kind of bad about now. And I meant to go get, I didn't have a net on me, okay? I'm not heartless. Anyway, they've been all over the boatyard, and on my next build, that you'll see next week, obviously, they just were all in the way, and I was decorating at night, and I'm like, normally you guys will leave me alone when it's at night, but they didn't. They were extra obnoxious, to be honest. Okay, I did bounce back and forth a lot during this video, which I did not realize that I did at the time. Like, a lot. You can definitely see my ADHD working overtime here. It's like, I did this at Nook's, and I'm like, oh, let me go do it at Abel's, and then, you know, not do anything in between. And so then I had to go back and fix it. I don't know why I'm like that. Speaking of ADHD, if you have not seen my Disability Month build, which I did on ADHD, my collab video, you should definitely check that out. We were building on Moondrop, and we did a mushroom forest, and I just kind of talk about, you know, ADHD, my experience with having ADHD and growing up with it. And, you know, I really enjoyed that video, and to anyone that has liked it, watched it, or commented on it, you know, I am so appreciative to you, because it's very close to my heart because I have ADHD. It's something that I've dealt with for the majority of my life, and I unfortunately have a lot of knowledge about it as well, so I could talk for hours about it. And I also think that it's super important for people who don't have ADHD to kind of learn about it. Same with any type of disability or, you know, disorder, you know, learning about what others kind of struggle with or have gone through can really change your perspective on things. Okay, rant over. Let's move on to our fencing. And I have been having such a fun time using this spiky fencing. It's just so much fun and it's perfect for this island, and so I'm going to put it literally everywhere I can. And I'm gonna just put a couple here in the boatyard area because I didn't want it to be all that was over here, because I felt that that was going to be kind of overwhelming. So I continued kind of what I had done for the entrance, and then I just added in pieces of the fence to that. So anchor, barrels, stacked bags, the bottles, all of that. And of course, I made sure not to block the little one tile, what is that called? Dock? Dock, yeah. Where you can go out and get your boat wherever it's parked. It's not parked. Anchored, that's the word. Not me forgetting the word anchor, but adding some tiki torches, of course, because why wouldn't you? And just some last little tiny bits and bobs over here. My goal for this build was for it to look and feel full, but not be like clutter core, which is what I generally decorate like. I just like filling every single tile, and it's really hard for me not to do that. But I'm trying to challenge myself. I didn't do very good on this build, to be completely honest. But I am trying to control myself a little bit. I am just not very good at it. Also, I've been loving using the pirate barrels. They're so much fun. I also love that I've been seeing so many people starting fall islands. Like right as I finished Pinecone, everyone else seems to have started doing fall islands, and I'm living for it. I think it's so fun. And you know, fall is my favorite season, so I love seeing a fall island, no matter the time of the year. But since we are officially in spooky season, in my opinion, spooky season starts in July, fight me. Now that we're in spooky season though, you know, that makes the fall vibes so much better, even though it's still like over 100 degrees outside. So I've been enjoying it. Actually, the last couple days have actually been kind of nice weather, and by that I mean it's been like 95. But where I live, that's really cool weather for this time of year. So I've been really enjoying that. But, you know, it is still hot out, but it still is spooky season. Okay. I'll even give you like Summerween. We could just classify it as that. But just know it's spooky season in my heart. Although it's spooky season year round in my heart. So I don't know what that says about anything. But now we're just going to move on to this ending area where I'm just going to add some foliage, bushes, flowers, trees, just to kind of end this shopping district area. And of course we need to add in the jungle and tropical aspect of this pirate core island. Anyway, back to what we were talking about, which was spooky season. I am excited for my Halloween island, which will be the island that comes after Scuttle. I have some really fun ideas, and I cannot wait to kind of explore that island with you guys whenever I start it. And unlike Pinecone, which was just a fall island, this island will be straight up Halloween. Not just fall, but Halloween itself. So get excited for that. That's still several months away. It won't be, you probably won't see that until, when am I finishing this island? Probably October. So it'll be fun though. And maybe I'll do some tour videos of past islands that I've done for Halloween. That might be fun. One of my favorite islands I've ever done is Halloween-ish. So I'll probably do a tour of that one just because I love that island so much. But what island are you working on? Are you working on a fall island? Are you still working on your summer island? Like what are you working on? Because you know I'm nosy. I have to know. And now we're just moving on to the upper areas. I built out some cliffs just so that it's a little bit more dimensional, so that it looks like there's 2 stories essentially. And I don't know, I just think it always looks nicer when you're dealing with storefronts to have something behind it, whether it's more storefronts on a second floor or a second level, or like a waterfall, or you know, any of that. And then we're gonna head on back to Abel's and we're gonna start decorating over here. Again, I wasn't gonna do a lot. I was just gonna do a clothing rack, which was, this is the only clothing rack I had, so it's the one I went with, and then just some boxes that maybe they got a shipment of clothes in. I'm not really sure, but nothing too crazy. Pretty much my usual decorating method, actually. And I don't love this end area. So I did put the just a line of wheat field down just to kind of make that sharp edge of the custom code not as visible. And also I just love wheat fields, so I want to use it every opportunity I possibly can. And I thought that the pathway over here was looking just a little bit too clean and pristine, so I did just go ahead and add a little wheat field and some stacked bags, and now I just have some smaller items I'm gonna add on these boxes before I move on to the actual boatyard and add in some boats. And by boats I mean yachts. And I only did the like kind of rusted type of yacht because I don't know, I kind of just thought that's what feels more piratey. Is that even a word? I don't think that's a word. It's a word now. You understand what I'm saying. And even though you can't see it because of how the cameras work in Animal Crossing, I did want to have a second level of storefronts on this edge as well, just so that everything is uniform and because I know it's there. So I had to make sure that I could actually fill the space. Did I need to do this? No, not at all. Did I want to? Yes, I did. And that's why we did it. And now we're just gonna kind of fill in this this upper level. I didn't do too much back here because the trees were just gonna go into the storefronts anyways, but I did put a couple bamboo trees, and then I'm just putting some trees behind Abel's sisters to kind of make it look a little bit more tropical-y, jungle-y vibes up there. And I wanted to add in the last little storefront here just so that it looks like they go all the way across. Again, just so that it looks full and filled out. And we are done. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what your favorite part was. And make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you aren't already. Let me know if you have any ideas for other builds that I should do on this island, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!